Hey everyone, it's Dan, the Happy Tarantula Keeper, and it's time to answer some questions. First off, we have a question from another tarantula YouTuber, The Sweet Escape, and his question is, what was your first tarantula? My first tarantula was a Brachypelma vagans, and I still have him today. I'm pretty sure he's a male. I have him listed as a suspect male, but I never get to see him. He's constantly in his burrow, only comes out at night, and I'm glad I got more tarantulas because I would have been bored as all hell if I just stuck with one. Next, we have another tarantula YouTuber. Actually, I'm pretty sure all these questions are from tarantula YouTubers. This is from Ian Tarantula. If you could keep one genus, which would it be and why? Great question. If I had to keep one genus, it would be, without a doubt, Chilobrachys. I absolutely love Chilobrachys. I've probably said this in my videos before, and on my rantings on various social media sites. I just love Chilobrachys. I love their attitude. I love how much they web, and I love a lot of them have awesome coloration. Probably my favorite so far is definitely the Fimbriatus. Though recently, I did trade my only Fimbriatus, who had matured out to be a male. I traded him to Steve at Arachnoidin for a few other species of Chilobrachys. So, that is the genus I would keep. Next, we have a question from the Tarantula Noob. And no, I'm not bashing him or dissing him. That is his channel name. So, no ill will intended. What do people usually say when they learn you keep tarantulas? And how have people reacted to you doing YouTube videos? Okay, so I honestly don't talk to too many people about my tarantulas unless, they ask about them, like if they're my friends on Facebook and they're like, oh, I saw you posted, a picture of tarantula, I'll talk about it then. But I don't really talk about it to most people, mostly because of just the negative comments and just the negative stigma that tarantulas have in general. I get comments like, oh, what's wrong with you, or what ails you, or why would you want to keep scary tarantulas in your house? And I just tell them they're really not scary once you get to know and understand how they work and how they behave as an animal. I mean, for sure, you should definitely give tarantulas respect, and never underestimate them or become complacent. But they're really nothing to be afraid of, and they're much more scared of you than you are of them. And I know that's a very cliche response for a lot of exotic animals like snakes, what have you. That's usually what I tell them. And not many people know about my YouTube channel, to be honest. I put it on my Facebook page every now and then, but I don't really broadcast it too much. And I think most of my subscribers are, people who keep tarantulas are in the YouTube community. I have a few people that will comment and be like, oh, that's cool, and they'll try and be polite, but, people don't really care too much, at least around here. Next question is from Wild Tales. Do you ever plan on breeding tarantulas, and if so, which species would you like to breed most? I would definitely like to breed Chilobrachys eventually. That's not something I would want to start out with, though. I'd probably want to start out with some sort of new world, like a Brachypelma or a Faunapelma. I haven't really made a decision, but eventually, when I'm comfortable with breeding, I'd definitely like to breed Chilobrachys down the road. Next, we have a question from Martin at Martin's Tank Talk. How did you come to the decision that tarantulas is just the animal for you to keep? When I was little, most people, well, not most people, but the cliche professions that kids want to have. I want to be a fireman. I want to be a policeman. I want to be a doctor. I wanted to be an entomologist. I loved insects. I loved bugs in general. And even though spiders scared me and other bugs kind of made me uneasy, I still found them fascinating and I still loved them. And I've always liked insects. I've always liked creepy crawlies. Um, when I was a kid, I used to go up and down the street and I would find ant lions on the side of the road with their little cone ditches that they would have, and you'd see an ant crawl in there, and they'd flick sand up to make the ant fall down. That's one of my earliest memories is watching insects and just loving them for what they were and how beautiful they were. So that's why I definitely knew the tarantulas would be something I wanted to keep. Actually, even years before I kept tarantulas, I used to watch the Tarantula Guy, 1976. I think that's his YouTube name. He was a legend, and then he went away for a while. But years and years before I ever even thought about owning a tarantula, I found his YouTube page, and I'd watch them. I thought, oh, that was cool. That tarantulas, they look pretty interesting. I didn't realize how diverse they were. And, 5 or 6 years later, here I am. I've got 24 tarantulas and counting. Next question is from Sidex. If you had to entrust your collection to one YouTuber while you went away for some reason, who would it be and why? It's a great question. I guess it depends on how long I was going to be away. I'm kind of a homebody, so I don't really go places too often. If I do go, it's for like a day or two. And tarantulas, as most of us know, can go quite a while without maintenance. But if I had to entrust them to anyone, it would probably be Tom Moran of Tom's Big Spiders. And for reasons why, he's experienced, he's very well versed in his husbandry, and he's one of the, relatively speaking, he's close to me. He's within a day's drive. So if he didn't mind taking on extra tarantulas, that would be the person. Our next question is actually our next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 questions are from JP's Pet Nation. And thank you very much, JP, for all these questions. I had a decent amount, but you really helped out, and I appreciate it. If you guys haven't subbed to his channel, go to his channel and check it out. He's got a great channel. He's got awesome collection of bugs and invertebrates. So go check him out. First question. How old were you when you got your first pet, and what was it? That's a tough one. I honestly don't know. I think my first pet that was actually specifically mine was a hermit crab. And I kind of feel bad because I had no idea about husbandry back when I was that age. My parents didn't know. So, I kept a hermit crab, and I think I had him for a year or two. And I kept him with my sister's hermit crab in the same tank. And I'm not sure if that's, not a good idea, if they're territorial. One day I found my hermit crab, and he was, snipped in half. I have no idea what happened, whether it was attacked by the other hermit crab or what. But that made me really upset, and I think that was my first actual pet that belonged to me. I mean, we had chickens and we had rabbits, but those weren't really just mine. They were kind of we all took care of them, the family. Next question. If you could only keep one of your pets, what one would it be and why? That's really a hard question because I love all my pets. Um, I think it would have to be. I don't think I could just pick one. I think it would have to be two, and it would have to be my two dogs, Addie and Ludo. They're both pit mixes, and I love them to death. And I don't think I could part with any of them. I would probably part with my tarantulas before I would part with my dogs. I mean, I love my tarantulas, but I love my dogs a little bit more. There's a little bit different connection you have with dogs. You know, there's love reciprocated there, I feel. And there's a connection. And I don't really, I mean, I love my tarantulas, but you don't get that connection, you know. It's kind of like, I view tarantulas like I view my fish. You know, they're really cool, and I think they're fascinating, but, you know, you can't really cuddle them. It's not something, you know, they don't have the emotions that a dog does. So, next question. Is there any pet you could never keep? One pet I don't think I could ever keep is probably a centipede. Something about them really, I think they're fascinating. Don't get me wrong. They're awesome little creatures. They just kind of unnerve me a little bit. And I don't think I could keep one. And I don't think my wife didn't even want tarantulas at first. Now she has her own. She has one. But I don't think she'd be pretty pissed if I brought home a centipede. So centipedes, probably a pet I'd never keep. Next question. What would you say was your hardest time in the hobby? I'm not sure. I've only been in the hobby for just over a year. I think probably my hardest trying time has honestly been with this YouTube channel. You know, it's a fun thing to do, and it's a hobby in and of itself, but it's caused me a lot of stress, and, you know, I get stressed out about subscribers and, you know, the pace at which my channel is growing, all stuff that doesn't really matter, but I get anxious about nonetheless. And I'm a lot less anxious now that I've met my first goal of 100 subscribers. So, yeah, I'd probably say having this YouTube channel has probably been the hardest time. Not an unpleasant time, but probably the hardest. Next question. What channels on YouTube do you watch? That's a good question. I watch a lot of tarantula YouTubers, a lot of people on the YouTube community. Not everyone, but a good amount. I love I love Cinemassacre, the angry video game nerd. I've been watching him since, gosh, forever. I love retro video games. I actually have a Super Nintendo hooked up in my bedroom, and me and my wife play that every other day. We'll play Kirby's Avalanche or Super Mario Brothers, what have you. I do have some political channels that I subscribe to, but I won't get into that because I'll try and keep politics out of my channel. What else? Oh, I like to watch, I know it probably sounds weird to you all, but I like to watch slot video channels, like gambling. I guess that tells you I have a problem, but but I like to watch them. You know, people go into casinos and they film themselves playing, you know, slot machines, and you get to kind of vicariously live through them as they, you know, as they win thousands of dollars. So I watch those kind of channels too. And that is the end of the questions. I hope you all enjoyed. Thanks for tuning in. So I hope you all have a great day, and thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and hit that bell icon.